Sixth graders. It has been a very snowy winter here in New York, and it's been even snowier up in Boston, Massachusetts, where I spent my February break with my family. Whenever there's a lot of snow, I can't help but take advantage of a good snowball fight. And I especially love to attack my brother with snowballs when he is least expecting it. So one day, when there was tons of snow on the ground, I waited for him outside outside of our home. And when I saw him approaching, I started to pack a snowball. And he took kind of a little while to get to the front entryway. And so I just kept packing the snowball. And I wasn't even realizing this, but it was growing bigger and more dense and heavier. And then finally, when he was in range, I threw it at him and it hit him in the back of the knees and he fell over because of the power of the snowball that I had been packing in for probably 2 to 3 minutes. It was pretty huge. Now, I'm not telling you this because I want you to try this. Definitely don't attack anyone with snowballs, especially deeply packed snowballs. But I want you just to think about it for a second because it actually relates a lot to what I'm going to ask you to try today for writing. Today, I want to teach you that writers become experts on a topic or a person like you're studying and writing about by snowballing new information onto the knowledge they already have. As you read and reread texts on your topics or on the people and activists that you study, you can use your notes to show how the new information connects to the information that you already had, making a very compact and deep understanding. So to jump right back into the work that we started before the break, which is when we were looking into activism and you selected an activist that you've now been officially assigned, I want you to just take a moment to think back with me about what you already know about activists and what activism looks like. And I'm going to show you my notes from a little while ago, from when we started this work together. And I just want you to take a look here. This is from when we first started the work together. And I found that when I was watching videos about activism and activists, that there were three major categories that things were falling into. I was noticing how activists tend to get started in a similar way. They build momentum in a similar way. So they get the word out, they start getting mobile, getting people involved, and then they also make a difference and leave an impact in a similar way. Just take a moment to look at the notes that I started a while ago and just familiarize or refamiliarize yourself for a moment. I want you to do this because this is you starting to pack that snowball. This is some of the stuff that we already know. So now that we've familiarized ourselves a little bit with what we already know, or refamiliarized ourselves, what we already know about activism, and maybe looking at some of the vocabulary that we've learned and noticed, we're probably ready to start looking out for some new snow to add on to our snowball. And I'm going to do this today by looking into another activist named Darius Brown. I'm going to be looking at his work though, through the lens of what I already know to be true, what I've already learned about activism and what activists tend to be like. So would you help me today to study Darius Brown, but with the hopes of making a deeply packed and powerful snowball for Darius? Will you try this with me? So think about what you already know and use that to help guide your understanding of Darius in this video I'm going to show you now. So before I show you the video, I want to just remind you of two things. One, you have a digital writer's notebook that I hope that you're writing in. And so if you haven't started writing your digital notebook yet today, make sure that it is open and you are ready to go. Because as you watch and listen to we're going to hear about Darius Brown, you're going to want to start to write some notes and perhaps even writing some notes that follow these same ideas, getting started, building momentum, and making a difference to help guide you and center your note taking and also build a really compact snowball. So get ready to take some notes. And also, I just want to give you a little bit of information about Darius so that you have a sense of how this video is going to go. and it will help you hopefully to jump right in a little bit faster. So you're going to hear about how Darius Brown uses his sewing talents to help get shelter dogs adopted. Because of his talents, he was able to get 5 dogs at the Mount Pleasant Animal Shelter adopted in just one day. And that is just the beginning of what he has accomplished. So my hunch is that you'll want to take notes, probably using these categories to see how can you add on to what you already understand to be true about activists. All right, let's get started.
You may have seen Sir Darius Brown all over TV and social media. Today, we're spending a whole day with a young gentleman who's making dogs look more spiffy and adoptable. Come on.
When I was 2 years old, I was diagnosed with a speech delay, a comprehension delay, and a fine motor skills delay. And at the time, my sister was making hair bows, and everything that she did, I wanted to do. So my sister had an amazing idea. Me using the fabric, it could help my fine motor skills delay.
Tell me about how the idea to make bow ties for dogs happened.
During Hurricane Harvey and Irma, I realized all the destruction that was happening. And I wanted to help in the best way I can, but I didn't know how.
I don't know about you, but I'm already totally alerted to the getting started part of my note taking and also the snowball effect. I know that for getting started, oftentimes activists are passionate about something. There's something that drives them. But I think it's really interesting that for Darius, it doesn't just necessarily, I thought it was going to start probably more with like his sewing interests, but it starts more with a natural disaster. And not just that, but how he is looking for a way for people to get involved. So it's not like this happened, let's all give money. It's this happened, what can we do about it? What are some ways that we can be creative to help? He also talks a little bit about his past and the hardships that he's had to overcome as well. I'm wondering how this fits in and how my snowball might be forming. And I think I need to stay more alert to this because this feels like new information. So hopefully you're starting to get some new information too. And if not, get yourself tuned in now because we're going to go from getting started to building momentum and then to making a difference. So you're looking for what you can add on to what you already know and what's new. Let's keep going.
My mom wasn't able to give any financial aid to them. So then I told my mom, if I use my passion in making bow ties, then it could also help the dogs get adopted faster and find their forever living homes.
And now, what's going on with the fires in Australia? You have a new thing.
Really wanted to help in some sort of way. So I came up with an idea that I could make.
Whoa. So he went from helping dogs in his local community at Mount Pleasant to wildfires in Australia. So that means that his momentum picked up really fast. So even though he's not giving me a lot of information quite yet about the building momentum, I can make a lot of assumptions because if his work got so big that he made an impact there, he must have been doing a lot of stuff. So I'm going to be looking at this more closely to say, well, what exactly did he do to build some momentum? Look with me.
A koala means to help with the koalas.
I take pride and value of teaching my little brother the things that my great-grandparents, my mom, my grandmother taught me. Because, you have to be a voice for the voiceless. And that's exactly what, for this case, the animals are. They're the voiceless and Darius is their voice.
Look at all these. Beautiful. Wow. Can I already just apologize before I do this? Just in case.
Okay.
Oh, boy. I push it. Oh. Took me a couple tries. Do you ever see it through? Like you see photos of the dogs?
I see these amazing photos of dogs getting adopted.
This goes a long way, this work. Hey, I saw you got a letter from Barack Obama, President Obama over there. What was that about?
I was speechless when I received the letter, and I'm very grateful for the letter as well. So now this is the final result.
This is perfect. Great job, man.
Thank you.
What do you say we go donate some of these?
Yes.
All right. So, Lori, Mount Pleasant Animal Shelter is one of the many shelters that gets Darius.
I'm tuning into making a difference. I'm seeing some examples of it.
We feel have some magical properties to them. When our pets wear them, they tend to get adopted much quicker. He is doing wonderful work for the community and beyond.
I must say, your bow tie is exquisite. To you, too. I didn't buy it yet. Well, it looks like these gals are ready for a new home.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, Darius, where can everybody keep up with you?
Sir Darius Brown become one of these special bow ties, and you can follow me at Sir Darius Brown.
Keep up the great work, man. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So he has a website, he has some different social media handles. So maybe I'm trying to now think back to building momentum. Maybe his social media platforms helped him to get bigger. And clearly, if it reached Barack Obama, if it reached Australia's wildfires, people are paying attention and zoomed in. So I have to make some probably like assumptions for how he built momentum. But by holding on to that thought and listening a little bit further and letting things play out, I think I have some more information that's going to help me. So right now, what you might do if you're doing this for your own activists is you might start to add on to the notes you've already taken or create new notes, but you're trying to make a snowball for yourself about the activists that you've chosen. So I wanted to show you before we close what my notes look like now. I've taken some old notes and I've also added onto those notes, you'll see the purple, with new things from watching Darius's video. As I watch another video about Darius and maybe read another article, I might add on to these notes, or I might change my structure up a little bit and just start to write long. There's a bunch of different ways I can take notes today, and it just going to depend on what I'm learning and what I'm thinking. So maybe you set yourself up to capture notes in these 3 subtopics that we've talked about already. Maybe you write long, like you might have started today or yesterday, or maybe you choose your own structure. Whatever it is, set yourself up so that you can add on information to what you already know and also leave space for new information that might come up today for you. I can't wait to see what you learn, and I can't wait to see how powerful your snowballs are as you continue to pack them in. All right, get going and have some fun with this.